Heck of a football game out there. Thought we played hard. Battled all the way to the end, even on the last play when we crossed midfield with that end of the game play. Kids had steel resolve. Thought during the course of the game, I mean, we had over 530-something yards of offense in that game. We rushed the ball for over 250 yards. Our total offense, our total yardage throwing, our total yards rushing, we outperformed. Two scoring opportunities in that game, one on a fourth down call, and then, of course, our inability to kick the field goal, and then the fumbled snap prior to that were two scoring opportunities in a tight game like this where even though all of our rushing, throwing statistics and everything else were superior, we lost out on those scoring opportunities. Anthony played well tonight. He was like 16 of 18 in the first half, and I don't know what he was, 21 of 28 or something like that overall for the game. Thought he played really hard. I thought our backs ran really hard. I thought our line blocked really hard. I thought on defense we made some big plays in that game. Early on, we probably struggled to get off the field a little bit in that first quarter. Regrouped ourselves, and then maybe a couple times in the second half, but made plays along the way and stopped touchdowns. This was two good teams fighting each other, and it came down to a thin margin, and the thin margin in the end pulled away from us with 3 points. It's a hard deal, but I'm proud of the way our kids played, and I'm energized about how explosive we were on both sides, and I like where we're going to head right now, and I like the development of our football team. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
This is the first one. When you lay out, when you list as many kind of the self-inflicted wounds, whether it's the delay of game or I think this is the first time you lost the turnover battle.
Mm-hmm.
How much did it feel like? I mean, because obviously they were efficient, they were good, but in some way you beat yourself here a little bit, you know?
Well, we did not we didn't execute the field goal, and that's something that's inexcusable. I saw the clock ticking down. I was going to call a timeout. I thought we were still going to get it off in time. I didn't want to lose my timeout. I knew we would need those timeouts at the end of the game. So I was trying not to burn it, and it was hair close, and obviously lost that decision by a half a second, and that's what it came down to. We planned on having the wind at our back in the fourth quarter. That was our decision at halftime so that we could kick those field goals early in the game. We had a field goal opportunity. The wind was at our face, and our analytics told us to go for that on fourth down, which we did, and we had an incomplete pass on that play. So those are the two scoring opportunities that occurred. 3 points, call it 3 points if you want to. One of those 3 points makes that a tie game in the end. Two of those 3 points puts you over the top. In between the white lines, there's a lot of good football in between there. So those were two situations that didn't fall for us the right way. And then we re-kicked the ball after it, and we had a bobbled center hold, a bad snap. Because I still felt good with the wind at our back that wasn't going to make the difference there. That would still be fine. But we had an inability to operate that.
Steve, you're a little concerned about not getting off the field on third down. And was that Newman that kind of did you in on that?
I can't really tell you all the different scenarios, but I mean he's a heck of a quarterback. We had several third downs that we struggled to get off with, but we also made several plays as well. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, at the end of that game, we made more plays than they did. They converted on more scoring opportunities than we did. So that's a veteran offense, there, and our offense went over the top on that. But we've got to capitalize on in a game like that when you have you can't give away points. And we had a couple scoring opportunities, a couple of 3-point opportunities there that made the difference in the game. But I thought we did a good job on him. But yes, we'd like to get off the field more. We were number 2 in the conference on offense and third down conversions, but today we weren't as effective on third down as we have been this season. So maybe after you study the film, maybe in there you'll find that we need to be a little more efficient today on third down on defense and a little bit more efficient on third down on offense. But I'll obviously I don't have those stats handy in front of me right now, but that very well could be.
Coach, talk a little bit about the performance of A.J. Dillon today.
Yeah, I mean, I thought A.J. Dillon ran really, really hard. I thought David Bailey ran really, really hard. I thought Anthony Brown played and ran and threw and played really, really hard. I mean, I don't know what this says. I'm proud of our team. They played really hard today. That was a physical, game. There was a lot of big plays made in that game, and a lot of good players made a lot of plays on both sides of the ball and for both teams. To walk away and be disappointed in the loss, heck yeah. But to be disappointed in our team, hell no. We're going to get better and we're going to grow, and the secret is from that game is to continue to battle and fight and get better and continue to play good football. We played a lot of good football out here tonight, a lot of good football. Both teams did.
How difficult is that sort of delayed read to defend?
Yeah, I mean, it's different and it's hard, but I thought, honestly, we did a pretty darn good job with that. You know, I think what I'm guessing, you know, just kind of going back fast, you know, there's a lot that emotionally that's happened in the last hour. But, I mean, I'd say we probably did a fairly decent job against all that. We let up some big throws. You know, there were some big throws. I don't know how many of them there were, but, you know, there was a PI, I remember, in the end zone, and another couple of big throws that had big yards on them, and those are tough deals, you know. You got a PI call. To me, I mean, you know, those PI calls can go either way on either team sometimes when I look at them up there. They got two big, tall receivers that battled for a couple of balls. That's what happened.
You explained kind of the logic behind the win of the field goal, but on the delay, like, what was the actual frustration? 'Cause I saw you talking to Ricky a little bit, just kind of. But what was the actual breakdown? And you could see you were visibly frustrated about kind of how things have played out.
Well, we just need to get the thing operated quicker. You know, there's no reason to have a delay game on a field goal. I mean, there's no indecision about, oh, do we go for it or do we kick a field goal? We knew immediate. Boom, the call's in, the field goal team's out. There was no delay. And just an inability to operate that out there, you know, we didn't handle that efficiently. That's never been a problem and never a problem in practice. And we work off the clock all the time. And, you know, why it had to come down like that, you know, it shouldn't have. It shouldn't have. And so, you know, I made the call. I made the call to not call the timeout at that point in time. That was my call, okay? I felt that at that point, I still thought we would get it off. I knew it was close, but I did not want to burn that timeout, and I thought we'd get the ball off. That's all I can tell you. And I'm a half a second wrong, and that's life. That's where it is.
I'll take two more questions.
It might not feel as gratifying now, but I was curious. Just you and Clausen know each other so well, it almost felt like. I think you said at halftime, this is going to come down to the wire, but it's almost like you know what the other was going to do, so you had to have something in the bag, whether it's the halfback pass.
Right.
Like, how much did you feel like, hey, we might have to show something that we haven't shown? So,
I mean, we planned a couple of our, you know, we had a new play action. We hit Zay for a touchdown on. We hit the wide cross play. We hit the halfback pass. We sort of hit the reverse play that we ran for at least a fair piece of yards. It was like a 7 or 8 yarder, I think it was. I mean, these are just, you know, in our minds, we every game you want to be able to have enough explosives in your bag. And I thought we emptied our bag with our explosives, and then we made some explosives just sheer our normal offense, right? I mean, it might have taken us a little bit to get going, but once we got going, we were hitting it pretty good. Again, we had 536 yards of offense. I mean, I know everybody wants to talk about offense. That's a lot of offense against a good football team. It's a lot of yards throwing, a lot of yards running. I mean, you know, we'll go back and try to squeeze a few more drops out of the rock. You know, but I thought we put a lot of offense on the field. I'd like to see how many times that much offense has been on the field. It's certainly got to be up there tops, at least in my tenure, I can tell you that. If someone was said to me yesterday, you're going to have this many yards, will you take it? Hell yeah, I would have took that, you know. So what we got to find out is how we just have one more point than they do at the end of the game. And I think we can dissect where we could have had a couple. You know what's important right now is? We got to move forward. That's what's important right now. We got to get ready to play Louisville. That's what's important right now. I'm proud of our kids' effort, their battle and their fight and their resolve, and really I can't wait to get back to work tomorrow, and I can't wait to get ready to go play Louisville. That's where I'm at right now.
Take last question with Trevor.
What did you see out of John Lamot today? He played great.
Yeah, I mean, I can't answer that question. It appears as though I think a lot of guys played really well. How great he played, I can't really tell you exact. I'm sure he did. I saw he and Max made several plays. I thought our D-line made plays. I thought our back end, Mike Palmer, made some plays. I mean, there's a lot of guys that played pretty well tonight now. I mean, they're going to go back and going to watch that film. Again, when you win all those categories, that means a lot of guys are playing pretty well, okay? So, but we did not finish with more points. And we'll go back, we'll take a look at exactly where those opportunities were missed, try to correct them, try to correct where we could have got off the field a couple times, try to correct where we could have stayed on the field a couple times, and we're going to squeeze out the rest of the juice that's left in that thing and continue to grow as a football team. Our football team grew today. That happened, okay? And we got to continue to do that. And that's our job, and that's our passion, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to grow.
Thanks, Steve.
Yep.
We'll start with Anthony Brown. Go ahead, just raise your hands for questions. Julie?
I guess first things first, when you look at, we were talking about just, if you look at category by category, you won a lot of things, the games were even, but there were some things where it's like some self-inflicted wounds or whatever. You look back, when you look back at those things, you feel like in some ways you kind of beat yourself.
Like you said, some self-inflicted wounds. We had some penalties that didn't need to happen. But otherwise, I don't even know what to say about it. But
After the first drive, you throw the pick on the first drive, what'd you see? And I think you completed 13 of 14 from that point forward. Like, how important was it to kind of get that pick behind you, first pick of the season, and then just kind of keep moving?
just knowing that we still have more downs, we still have a whole game left is huge. Throwing the first pick was just misread it. Had a chance to get back down, and I didn't. But moving on from that, it was just a snap and clear mentality, as Coach Ridikin always preaches to me, and understanding that we had the rest of the game to play. Next play mentality, and just kept going.
The yards can't matter as much to you when the points don't in your favor. But what does it say at all about your offense? That, hey, it is clicking. We just gotta. There are things here, there are down conversions, there are penalties. We gotta keep ourselves in shape.
I would say just scoring in the red zone. We got to finish. Got down there, I believe, 3 times and came away with no points. So I would say that is a huge factor in this game. And we had a lot of self-inflicted wounds. Like you said, we were clicking today, but when you don't finish drives like that, it can hurt you. Because as you said, we win most categories, but then not the points. And then people don't look at it and it doesn't add up. So I would say just finishing drives is it's going to be huge. And I know we will, but I wish it could have happened today. But we can't worry about it right now. We got to put it behind us and move on from it and get better from it. I thought he caught it, but I didn't see it after. So.
Anything else for Anthony? We'll go with Ray and Sebastian next.
I think first things first. Can you just describe the kind of load their receivers were? One of them 6'5". He's just tree out there.
Yeah.
Just what kind of challenges they pose, especially in the red zone for some of those targets, and also just it was hard to get them off the field on third down.
Yeah, it was. That's one thing. We had to get off the field on third down. The receivers, they're big receivers. 6'3" and above. One of the receivers was 6'5" and a half and like 220. And Sage Surratt, 14, was like 6'3", 225, big body receivers. And Jason Maitre started for us. You know, they're gonna try to obviously take shots, use their advantage of the height, and use their body. And yeah, we just gotta compete at the ball, and we gotta put the pass behind us and go play Louisville.
Can you talk some about the preparation that went into Wake Forest's the way they hold the ball behind the line of scrimmage with the handoffs?
Yeah, so we were preparing to, we were trying to put more pressure, have an extra backer blitz, and we were playing more man into the boundary. And so we had one guy missing in coverage, and so we were just trying to put pressure on him so he could either give the ball quicker on the RPOs or, you know, just get the ball out and try to get to the quarterback.
Anything else for Brandon? Brandon, thank you.
Yeah.
We got AJ Dillon here next. Questions for AJ?
AJ, talk a little bit about the performance of the offensive line today. Obviously, you were featured heavily in this game plan once again, but talk a little bit about the guys in front of you and the job they did today.
I mean, we had 252 yards rushing. So anytime we can do that, they're obviously doing their job. I love those guys up front. And, I mean, as you can see, 252 yards rushing. They did their job.
AJ, it just seemed like you did your most productive running on sweeps this week. Were they just loading up the box and you were able to get outside and on the edge?
I mean, that tends to be the case when teams play us. Try to get as many people to stop the run. The outside plays worked well. Some of the inside plays worked well. You know, we just kind of stuck with it, and where we got it, we got it.
Somebody, like, I want to say fourth quarter, like, the ACC network caught you and AB talking, just like, hey, this is your argument, we got to go out and do it or whatever. Like, at any point did it feel like, yeah, of course, like, it's about who makes the most plays, but also it might be who makes the fewest mistakes, too, you know?
I don't know. It was our conversation was go in the game.
AJ, as Coach talked about, you guys had a lot of good categories, but how much does it sting being right there and the way this ended up? Because you guys played well.
The only stat that mattered is a win. We didn't get that, so we got to get better.
Anything else for AJ? Appreciate your time. Then we have John Lamot coming up. We'll wrap up with John. A note on Lamont, his 17 tackles are a career high.
Big plans for tomorrow?
Working. Sunday's a long day.
Who does the nominations for you? So, Lamont, AJ, maybe we're gonna have, what's his name again? Phillips, yeah.
I mean, whoever grades out as our top 1, 2 usually go.
Because we'll spread around.
I mean,
receivers.
TJ Arm has some big numbers, so maybe, you know,
Yeah,
11 tackles for a nose is
yeah, that's very good.
yeah. Who wants the first question? So we can hand you the mic now.
That's for you.
Great. Brad, thank you. finish things up here with John. John, we'll start with over to the right here with Fred.
So in the third quarter, there was that 20-play drive from Wake Forest. You guys were out there for a while. Can you sort of talk about holding them at the end of that and what kind of was going through the defense's head?
We just got to get off the field on third down, and I feel like we bowled up. I mean, it didn't get to us physically, but mentally we just had to keep getting. We had to get off the field on third down. That was our key to win the game, and I feel like towards the end of the game we didn't do that and execute.
Did you resume your friendship with Jamie Newman after the game?
Yeah, post game, not during.
What is that? You're just from the same hometown? And
Yeah, we grew up together. We played different sports together, and just became a family friend.
Anything else?
Just real quick, in a game like this where you guys do play so well but just couldn't make enough stops at the end, how disappointing is it in the end?
It's disappointing not to win, but it's a lot of things we can learn from. We see the improvement. We know that we can do it. We just got to keep our confidence up and come ready to work for this next week. I mean, the season's not over yet, so there's no reason to hang our heads. We got a game next week, so we got to prepare for that. Just got to, I guess, get it over it and get better.
Anything else? John, great. Thank you.
Appreciate you.